Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
Welcome to a super special episode of VO Buzz Weekly.
Special it is. We have on the show today Melissa Moats. And I got to tell you, man, she is going to blow you guys' mind. First of all, not only is she so cool and so unbelievable and kicking some major butt out there in voiceover, and she's going to share some really cool stuff. But the incredible thing is she's going to tell you the story of how voiceover helped her overcome and conquer cancer.
Yes.
You're going to watch this.
Ooh, gives me goosebumps. Okay, you guys, let's get right to it. Here we go with Melissa. Guys, our guest is making it happen in voiceover, in commercials, promos, in-show narration, radio imaging. She does it all. She's incredible. And she's also the founder of the Voice Actor Studio in Las Vegas. Her story is inspiring. She's awesome. So it's time to get buzzed with the sassy and fabulous Melissa Moats.
Yeah! Melissa Moats.
What an intro.
How cool
Fresh from Vegas.
that you and Troy, who's over there, you guys can't see him,
Hi,
but he's
Troy.
over there and he's freaking cool as heck. How cool that you guys get in a car
Boom.
and drive 400 and some odd miles, am I close?
Yeah, something like that.
To come here and share with us and with all of them, that's special.
It was
Wow.
great. No,
Hello.
because we said we'd Skype with you, and you said, no, we're going to come. So
No, we wanted
and-
to get down
yeah.
and do it in person.
Yeah, and look at you're adorable. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable.
you.
I love that.
I matched the chair.
She's styling. Well, the chair matches you, actually.
Yeah, we worked it out. The chair and I got down.
Get down, baby. We got that chair just for you. So cool, man. Well, listen, I want to, well, first of all, let's get down to the interview. Let's ask you,
Okay.
how did Melissa get started with this whole voiceover thing? Take us back in time.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I was a little girl, I used to love commercials. I used to love mimicking them. So I still have a few that I can remember. Zips, the little Velcro shoes. I used to sing their little jingle all the time. Still have it memorized.
Yeah.
And I used to love commercials growing up. So that was something that was just, you know, a thing I liked.
Yeah.
So, but I used to perform on cruise ships, and I was a cruise director.
Wow.
And kind of did some creative stuff in
Nice.
that regard for a while. And then after,
You were in a cruise ship, what? Announcer?
no, I wasn't an announcer. I did do a lot of announcing on the ship, but I was just cruise directing, getting everybody together for bingo, getting everybody together
How
for
fun.
yeah,
On
it
the
was a
Lido
lot
deck,
of fun.
you got everyone where they
yeah.
need to go.
Another
Awesome.
thing I wanted to do as a little girl was I used to watch The Love Boat, and
nice.
I used to say I want to be like Julie McCoy when I grow up. So I made that happen.
Yeah, you did.
You got your own clipboard
That's so
and you were
cool,
all
man.
set. That's great.
So I did the cruise ship thing for a while, and then I actually met my husband on a cruise ship.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Do
Wow.
tell.
We
I
want to hear
never-
about that too.
I never dated
That's
any
so Love
passengers.
Boat that you guys,
yeah,
that is so
I know.
Love Boat.
Look at all that manifesting that I
right?
did, right?
She's
Yeah.
powerful, this
So,
one.
so I met my husband on a cruise ship, and after we went on our first date,
Hold on. Was he a guest or did he work
he
there
was a
too?
passenger.
Passenger.
Yes, he came out with some friends.
He pulled the moves
Gang.
on Melissa,
Yes.
huh?
He came up to me during karaoke hour,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so what do you like to do when you're not working? What kind of food do you like to eat? And I loved the fact that he was so nice. Like he wasn't,
Yeah.
creepy and
Right.
like,
Yeah.
he was just really nice. So he stood out to me, and I never dated a passenger before. So anyway, we went on a date, and the rest was history. I knew I was going to marry him after the first
You're
date.
kidding.
Really?
He didn't know it, but I knew it. So
You didn't say that on your first
I
date, did you?
I didn't tell him. I
Because
just
he would
told-
have ran.
I just told
probably
everybody
fast.
else. I told everybody else. So anyway, it was true.
Yeah,
So,
it is, and it came true. Get
We've been
down.
together 18 years now.
Wow,
which is
congratulations.
That's incredible.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
incredible.
So cool.
So, but yeah, so after the cruise ship gig, I did that for a few years. We got married in 1999, and then we moved out to Las Vegas. And one day, a catalog came in the mail from UNLV, and it was Introduction to Voiceover. It was a workshop.
Yeah.
And I showed it to my husband, and I just said, this just kind of keeps showing up. And, you know, I wasn't singing anymore on ships. I was performing on the Strip in Vegas, doing the lounge lizard thing.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun, actually.
I'm sure
But
it
just kind of, after so many years of that, though, you get kind of burned out. And I knew I wanted to do creative things. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to use my voice. I wanted to do creative things. And this voiceover thing just kind of kept, you know, showing up, basically.
Right.
So I saw the catalog, and I just decided to take the course at UNLV with a lady named Alice Whitfield. So that's where I got my start in voiceover. I took her course, and after my first class, I knew that it's really what I wanted to pursue.
Wow.
So definitely, I like to make decisions.
I was gonna say, you have
you
very
do,
quick
man.
epiphanies.
I'm gonna marry you. You don't know that.
Marry this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do commercials. So I know stuff. I just know
Heck
stuff.
yeah.
There are no shades of gray.
No shade, zero.
Right, exactly.
I love it. You're my
I
kind
didn't
of girl.
realize that until being here, you know?
Yeah.
So thank
That's
you
good.
guys for helping
Sure,
me
no
realize
problem.
that.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's the couch. It brings out.
Right,
It
it
brings out these
is.
magical.
This studio is magical
Gosh.
things
It's
happen
very
here.
well. There's a lot of, you know,
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Lot of
crushed
very
velvet
Vegas.
going on.
crushed
It's
velvet
kind of
makes
Vegas
the
in
truth
here.
Yes.
rise.
Yeah.
No, but so I took that workshop, and immediately I knew that I really wanted to pursue voiceover, and I did. I just jumped right in. I did study with Alice for almost a couple of years, going back to the year of 2000. The resources aren't like they are today. You really, you know, the info is very limited.
Sure.
I didn't have the type of, I couldn't Google voiceover and have what we have nowadays
No.
in 2015. 15 years later, there's just so much.
And that's both good and bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It can
Because
be a
there's-
little confusing and you know, overwhelming, but I did get a lot of great foundation with Alice, and I'd go every week. She had a workshop, and it was kind of a class setting. There were, you know, 10 to 20 people in the workshops, and I learned a lot from listening to other people and you know, hearing what worked well and what didn't work so well, and I knew that it was what I really wanted to pursue.
Was it a natural thing for you? Did you have a knack for it?
I
right
did.
away?
I
Yeah.
did, and to me, voiceover is very musical.
It
It's very
is.
melodic,
Yeah.
and I think having a singing background and a musical ear definitely influenced, you know, my ability to read copy and know where to take it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember actually after my first workshop with Alice, she came up to me and she's a tough coach. I mean, and she said, some kids have it and some kids don't, and you've got it, you know, and she just kind of said, you've got it. You've got a good knack
I'm not
for
quite
it.
sure if you got it. There's something there.
And you're like, that's convenient because I've already decided I'm doing it, so
Right.
thanks anyway.
But it was definitely, you know, a boost
Yeah.
that somebody right out of the gate kind of recognized some ability there.
Of course.
And I was pumped. So every week I was there doing my thing for
Amazing.
almost 2 years till I made
Wow.
cut my first demo and went from there.
And so, what about your first job?
You know, it's so
Do you
funny.
remember your first job?
All I remember about my first job is that I was so excited that I booked it that I would have done it for free.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so pumped that I actually booked my first gig, and I should have like saved it and made it more of a, you know, documented, monumental moment in my life.
yeah.
But I think I was just like, yes, you know,
Yeah,
and I
Totally.
did it.
Yeah, of course.
I know it was a commercial. I know that
Yeah.
because that's really like my sweet spot and
Right.
what I do the most
Yeah.
of. So, but it was exciting. I remember
Ah,
that. I remember
yeah.
the way I felt, and it was.
Yeah.
I was pumped.
You were totally
Well-
excited. So you moved to Vegas, but where did you live before that? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the Chicago suburbs.
Chicago.
Nice.
Oh, you're a
Yep.
Chicago girl.
I'm a Midwestern.
Midwestern
Nice.
all the way. Get down.
Meat-
That's why
meat
you're
and-
so cool.
Thank you.
Meat and
potatoes.
Yeah, right? Meat and potatoes, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Total meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
That's me. And grew up in the Midwest.
I lived in Louisville for a while, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
No
so-
way. That's awesome.
I'm from
And
the-
I visited.
But
the
I'm
Midwest.
vegetarian, and so it was always funny because people would say, you know, you can have the beans, and I'm like, oh well, you know, they have. Well, it was just cooked in bacon, or cooked in fat of something, and I'm like, well, yeah, but there's no meat in it. They would always say, but there's no meat in it.
It's like, that's
You're
like
like-
a weird denial thing.
Yeah.
It's a, yeah.
Yeah. So the vegetables I found had more meat somehow than the meat. It was interesting.
Very
But
interesting.
clearly I survived. But anyway, back to you. This is about you. All right, so we're talking about commercials. Let's talk about some of your current projects.
Yeah.
You've got Ashley Furniture, Best Western. You're doing tons and tons of stuff. So tell us what's going on with that.
Well, I am definitely selling a lot of furniture these days, and I do love working with Ashley. They're great. And the interesting thing about Ashley Furniture is for years, I'd watch their commercials on TV. And I would say to my husband, man, I could totally do Ashley Furniture spots. I was like, I love the enthusiasm of commercials.
There's a lot of copy in those spots.
Yeah, man, they pack a lot of info in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I am like, I drink a lot of coffee right before those sessions. But they're great. They're great to work with. And Ashley I've been working with them since the beginning of the year. And they're getting ready to tell me in the next week or so if they're going to renew me for another 6 months, which I hope they do, because I have a lot more, sell in me for them.
Yeah, of course you do.
I feel good about it.
Thank you.
And given that you want to do it, I mean, this is what happens with you. You say,
Yeah,
I want
as long
to
as
do
you
it,
want to do it, you will do it.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way your life
I've made up
works
my
out.
mind
There
that
you
I would
go.
like to renew.
It's done.
Exactly.
Ashley, send over the contract.
Hi, Ashley. Yes, I would like to renew, so just go ahead and send that over.
Yeah, and by the way, the new rate is...
Well, no, they're great. And then Best Western, I've been working with them. It's been a couple years I've been doing their stuff, and they just keep, coming back and wanting me to do some more stuff for them. And interestingly enough, they've always been my favorite hotel chain. It's really interesting. I was telling my husband how stuff that, I've liked throughout my life, or just different favorite things, favorite places, products, services. When I book them, I get so excited,
Of course.
So it's a genuine sell for me.
Yeah.
And probably part of the reason why you book them is because there's that natural enthusiasm towards that product or service, and they can hear it.
Definitely.
So
they
it
can
helps.
hear it, they can feel it,
Yeah.
and that's where I always come from with my reads, is really trying to feel them, and so definitely. And a couple of other really cool ones, Meaningful Beauty, Cindy Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Skincare line, keeping all the ladies looking fly and
Fly.
beautiful.
Yeah, fly and sparkly.
Yes, so I've been doing that for a while as well, and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Oh, VSP Vision Care, been doing stuff for them for about a year, and just a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
different stuff.
A lot of stuff. And how about recently, I heard through the grapevine that you started doing some sort of promos?
Oh my gosh, Chuck.
Tell us a little bit about your
Well, wait,
promo.
let's back up a second. You did a promo
Demo.
with Chuck. I had the privilege of writing your scripts, and you
I had the
guys did this promo demo.
I had the
Which
privilege
came out
of reading
amazing.
them. Thank you for writing such amazing
Oh, it was my
copy,
pleasure. I mean, I heard it. I
and-
was like, well,
Damn.
it
Can
was
we just take a
great.
moment? Can I just take a moment and
Sure.
discuss demos that rock? I'd like to do a commercial right now.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Melissa's going to do a commercial on
A
demos
little
that rock.
enthusiasm, everyone.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I had been told from so many different people that if I wanted to do a new demo, especially promo demo, everybody just, your name kept coming up from a lot of different people, and so I decided to reach out to you and came over here to do my promo demo in this booth right here.
Yep.
And I didn't look at the copy until the session.
Really?
I waited
Wow.
because
That's
I
real
wanted,
life.
I wanted to be really fresh with everything, and really, I didn't want to overwork it, over-rehearse it, overthink it.
Yeah.
So I waited to get here, and but it was great copy, and we had done a nice Skype session leading up to kind of, get a game plan together, which I really loved that you did that, by the way.
Cool.
But yeah, so the promo demo came together beautifully.
It is great. You can go to her website and check it out.
www.
Yeah. Well, it's melissamoats.com.
Yes, how convenient.
Hello.
Anyway,
Your branding is spectacular.
well, thank you very much. I'm the Melissa Moats brand.
Yeah.
And but if you click on my promo demo, which is right up at the top, I will have you
Nice.
know.
Yes.
No, I'm really proud of it. It kind of makes all my other demos. I feel like I need to just redo them all now.
Well, and maybe you will.
Back.
I have
Because
some more copy to write.
if the promo has been
I'm
doing
ready.
such good stuff for you, then maybe,
So-
that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's so important to knock people off their feet when they hear
Right.
something
From
like
the
that.
first second,
That is the
it's gotta
tool.
grab
Your
It's like looking
tool.
at a model and having her portfolio.
It
you know,
is.
if you're looking at a bunch of Polaroids rather than like beautiful pictures.
Your demo is truly your calling card, and it's got to be done right. And you really want to showcase yourself in the best light. And a lot of my demos I actually had produced myself with the help of people that are amazing in post-production.
Yeah.
But I have found that it's so hard to be objective about yourself. And if you're doing your own demos, oh, you know, it's not always the best idea. But I really liked the fresh perspective that you were able to, you know, kind of have on my reads and on my abilities. And I was able to just kind of, I kept saying to you during this session, whatever you think, I trust you, you know, and, you know, it was nice. It was nice.
It's great. It shows
ears.
your range. Like, it's fantastic.
Thank you. I am truly proud of it. So it turned out really well. So well, in fact. No, I'm really excited. I got a phone call last week, and I will tell you that I absolutely cried after the phone call.
Again?
Yeah.
I know. I just get very emotional because I love this business so much, and I've worked really hard for 15 years to get to this point. And I found out that I'm going to be doing I've already done several promos for the Ellen Show.
Wow.
So
That's so
that
great.
Did we put an
my
Ellen
world.
Show promo on your reel?
We did not.
We did not.
We did not. That was something we had pondered, though, because we felt like it was right there in my my sweet spot.
Yeah, but we did something
reads.
like it.
You had a daytime spot.
Yes. So we I was pitched to the decision makers, the powers that be for that, using my new promo demo. I did not audition for this, and I was booked right off of my demo that rocks. And I'm just saying.
Oh, wait, my phone's already ringing again.
No, it was pretty incredible. So, of course, I had to get on the phone immediately and call Chuck.
And you did.
I emailed you, call me.
I know.
Tsunami-sized news.
What the heck's going on in Vegas, man?
And didn't they want you to record it within like
15 minutes?
Yeah.
They said, so they're going to dial you up in like 15 minutes. And I didn't even have time to get nervous or freaked out or anything. So I just took a minute, and the copy came in like 2 minutes before the session. And I was like power reading and everything. And anyway, it was a great session. They were amazing. They were amazing to work with, and Ellen's bits, were pre-recorded and stuff. And it was just, it was such a blast to like be in a session, hear Ellen, kind of throughout the cuts, and it was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you for making my demo.
Absolutely.
rock.
Thank you for going out there and freaking showing us how it's done, baby.
Teamwork.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
love it. I love it.
Okay, so you just booked some Ellen Show promos, which is freaking cool, off of your demo that rocks. But you were telling me the story about you booked a kids show on Ion Television.
Yes.
And what's the name of the show?
Well, it's Cubo Kids Corner.
Cubo Kids
and there are a
Corner.
whole bunch of, kids cartoons and
Yes.
stuff.
Right.
And I'm promoting Cubo Kids Corner, and it's really fun, and I love
so
kids
adorable.
stuff.
The
Yeah.
animation
Now,
is so
what I
cute.
love about that is how you got that gig.
Yes.
Do you remember telling me how you got that gig?
Tell
Unless
me
you
how-
lied to me.
No, I didn't. I'm fine. What did I tell you? Because I'm
I'm not
like,
going to say,
I'm still
because
on.
I want you to tell us. I want you to tell me. And then I can see, okay, no, that's not quite what you said, Melissa.
I'm
all
trying
right?
to remember how I got that gig.
How did you get the gig?
How did I get the gig? I just remember doing the gig.
You
I'm
told
totally
me.
drawing a
Give
blank.
her a hint.
Okay,
Give me a hint.
this is what you told me.
Because I've been doing it a while
there's
now.
so
I know.
many
Like
projects.
Ellen
You
is
can't
super
keep
fresh in my
straight.
mind.
That you found out whoever it was that was producing promos over there, and
Yes.
you send them a quick little email saying,
Yes.
hey, blah, blah, here's what I've been doing lately. I would love to work with you guys
and
at some
that's,
time.
and that's
True?
what I
Did
do.
that
with,
really happen?
I do that with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And actually, a friend of mine too, and in this case, did put in a really good word for me.
Yeah.
That had met me at a voiceover conference.
Yeah.
But that is the scenario for me with a lot of different places. Is I'm not shy. I will reach out to different production companies, different networks, different places I want to work with, and just say, hey, I would love an opportunity to work work with you.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how powerful that is. And
Extremely.
yeah. And I think a lot of people are just afraid to do it or uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
They're going to say no.
Right.
And that's the thing that people need to know is the worst thing that can happen is they're going to say no. And I don't like to focus on the no's. I like to focus on the yeses.
Yeah.
So you have to cruise through a lot of no's to find those yeses, but they're worth it when you find them. So don't let no's, freak you out. This business is all about selection, not rejection. That's what I believe.
I love that. And
Thank you.
what I love about it is that you had an agent, a different agent. Now you have another agent, but you had an agent, and basically, your agent maybe wasn't producing for you like you wanted, especially in that promo area. You're like, I'm going to go get my own.
Right. Well, I think this is a really good point too. I think a lot of talent, when they sign with an agency, they sort of feel like, they signed with this agency and now all of a sudden the floodgates are going to open up and all of this amazing opportunity is going to come together for you. And in some cases that can happen. I've heard some really cool stories from fellow, talent and stuff. But I believe that your relationship with your agent is much more of a collaborative effort. In my case, a lot of my work I've actually gotten myself and then taken to my agent and just said, hello, will you please negotiate this deal for me? Or this is the situation, I found this, opportunity, and then they, do their part, But it is a collaborative effort and it's a team effort. And I think that if more talent looked at their careers, through that point of view, through those eyes, they'd find themselves being busier and booking more work for sure.
Well, because going back to what you were saying about 15 years ago, it was very different. I mean, to that point, what responsibility do you think a voice talent in today's current market has to build their career, whether they have an agent or not?
I think 100% responsibility. I mean, you will get out of your voiceover career whatever you put into your voiceover career. And a lot of people, I read threads on Facebook or different things, and a lot of people are complaining about being slow or, just like truly like rants and complaints about, stuff. And my thing is if you took the same time and the same energy that you just put into that and actually put it into picking up the phone and calling people and putting out, really positive, no nonsense emails, and we can talk about that too, people would start to get some really great results. And really, you've got to be responsible for your own career and don't expect anybody else to do it for you.
Absolutely.
Team up with people that are amazing that can help you and promote you, but really know at the end of the day, if you want to be successful, you've got to do the legwork. Got to work hard.
I agree with you so much, and it's like it's so funny because I've been doing what I do, producing demos and directing and stuff like that for over 25 years, and all of my friends are making a ton of money in the voiceover business. I like saying that.
Okay.
I like saying that. But the reason, but then the thing is I know people that aren't, and I know people that are, and I get to see why aren't they and why are they. And the common denominator is that the people that are making a killing in this business are actively doing something every day, not complaining. If there's ever a time when they're not doing something, they're doing something to make sure that something happens. So activity is so important.
I mean, it's just one little step every day. It doesn't, and it's that cumulative.
It is, and
it's not just one monumental event necessarily.
And it is every day. It truly is. And I think one thing that my husband and I talk a lot about is just people's belief in the fact that they can do it, that they can book a lot of work. It's just kind of a mindset that there are a lot of great opportunities out there. And just taking a minute to just throw away all the negativity and throw out all of that negative, talk about, oh, it's hard and it's so competitive and, all that stuff, and just forget all that and just focus on you and focus on your strengths and your abilities and believe yourself, trust yourself, believe you can actually do it. And I think that's half the battle. And then lose the fear, accept the fact that marketing and reaching out to people and building relationships is you know, a huge part of voiceover success, and there's really nothing to be afraid of. It's awkward at first. You feel uncomfortable because it's not something that, you know, we do every day. Well, it is something we do every day, but when you first start, it's not. It's very awkward and stuff. So know what you want to say and practice it and streamline it. And the more you pick up the phone and call people, or the more you email people, you're going to find some stuff that works and some flow that works. And you know, just keep it brief, keep it to the point. That's one thing you and I talked about when I was here working on my promo demo, was I really respect people's time. That is so huge. And if I write an email to someone, it is so streamlined. It's like 3 sentences, and it's about this big. And that's an email that anybody would read. But when you write an email that's this long, talking about all kinds of fluffy stuff, nobody has to.
Every
Nobody
single
got time
item
for
that you
that.
have in your studio.
Right.
Every piece of equipment that you've ever owned.
It's
your hopes, your dreams.
It's crazy.
Cassette, TIAC cassette to deck.
Impressive.
Right? Yeah. That usually that's at the end.
Right. That's like the sign off. P.S.
Yeah. I have the Smithsonian of voiceover equipment.
Yeah.
I love it. No, but it's you know, it's really important to do that legwork and build those relationships and to be consistent at it. You know, got to do it every day to be able to make those relationships. And then when you get those relationships, nurture them and follow through for people and do a great job, not only in your voicing and your performance, but be easy to work with and be kind and be grateful and appreciative. Magic words in really any business are thank you. And I must say those words, no exaggeration, 100 times a day, just for I thank people for auditions. I thank people for opportunities. I thank people for returning my email, because that's their time out of their day and their business, and they're giving it to me.
And you're valuing their time, which is beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So Melissa, you are so inspiring on so many different levels, but you've been very open about how voiceover really helped you survive and beat cancer.
Definitely. It really, really did.
Can you share that story with us?
Definitely. It still gets a little emotional for me, but in a very, very positive way.
Yeah.
So in the early part of 2014, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. And 10 years ago, actually 12 years ago, I also had thyroid cancer. So it's crazy. Here I am, 38 years old, pretty darn healthy, and this cancer thing keeps popping up, right? So anyway, I really didn't want to let it get me down, and I just, it was definitely something that was in the back of my mind every day that I was, working through, and I'd had to have some pretty intense surgery and recovery and stuff from that. But I had a 6-hour surgery, and I was in the hospital for a few days, and then I came home, and I only took 6 days off from voiceover, and I really felt like throughout the entire process, getting in my booth every day and auditioning and working and doing what I love just really helped keep my my body chemistry, if you would, really happy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm happiest when I'm doing the things I love and being with the people I love. And I'm so passionate about voicing and expressing myself creatively and doing all that, that I just really felt like it was a big part of what helped, keep me, centered. Yeah. It kept me calm, and it kept me remembering that I wasn't cancer. Cancer was just like a random thing that was kind of happening and I was working through, but it just kind of helped me stay on track with who I was, and after, I only took 6 days to kind of lay there on the couch, and then I thought, no, I want to be in my booth. I feel better. I feel more alive in my booth.
Me laying around.
Right. Laying around is definitely not me. Yeah. And Troy, actually, my husband, he put this really soft mesh chair in my booth, and I had this this big apparatus that I had to wear, and I had all these crazy body hoses. It was very, it was not glamorous, let me just tell you, by any means. And, but I just decided to forget all that and just get in my booth and just be me and do me, and it really, really helped me heal. I healed, very fast. My oncologist said she hadn't seen anybody heal, more quickly than me, and probably had a lot to do with all the awesome juices I was drinking and supplements I was taking. But I was in my booth every day doing what I love the most, and I really feel like it helped me stay on point, get through my business, and move on. And I'm like 7 months cancer-free now. So
fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thanks, you guys.
Somebody out
That is
there is
so
going to
cool.
be really inspired by
I
that.
hope that someone's very inspired by it, because it's crazy how much cancer is touching all of our lives these days. Way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
We all know someone that's going through it, or has gone through it, or they're going through it themselves. And just don't forget that that's just something that's going on, but it's not who you are. And focus on the things that you love the most in life, and the people that make you feel the best, and it'll really it'll help you get through it. So it really helped me. So I'm really glad that I love voiceover so much, because
Me too.
it kept me on point.
Yeah, well, and I'm
Wow.
sure that, it informs you as an actor now differently, having had that experience and just that richness of having to dig so deeply.
Definitely.
You were fighting for your life.
Yeah, definitely. It was a scary time. I was scared there for a minute, but but I just tried to really truly keep a positive attitude, and I had a lot of people around me that just lifted me up a lot, and I'm super thankful.
That's nice.
It's beautiful.
I am a little teary-eyed.
Me too.
Me
That's
three.
a very beautiful story.
No, thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us. That
Yeah,
was very
no, I
nice.
feel like it's important to be open about that kind of stuff. Some
Yeah.
people are a little more private, but
Yeah.
I guess the way I look at it is, if my situation can help somebody else, then there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feel good about that.
Love it.
Get down. Woo! Well, Melissa Moats definitely rocks, and we're going to be back next week with part 2.
Yes, we will. And keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, too. We love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. And just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.